Impossible Foods launched production this week at the company's first large-scale production facility. The manufacturing site in Oakland, California, is ramping up production of plant-based meat and has the capacity to produce at least 1 million pounds of Impossible Burger per month. In development since 2011, the Impossible Burger is the world's only burger that looks, handles, smells, cooks, and tastes like ground beef from cows, but is made entirely from plants, with a much smaller environmental footprint than meat from animals.
Our mission is to transform the global food system. It's a huge opportunity. So we're embarking on one of the largest scale-ups in the history of the food industry.
We've been planning the scale-up for a long time, so this is really exciting. At capacity, we'll be able to produce more than 1 million pounds a month, which will serve at least 1,000 restaurants nationwide.
The Impossible Burger uses about 75% less water, generates about 87% fewer greenhouse gases, and requires around 95% less land than conventional ground beef from cows.
The Impossible Burger is actually one of the best-selling items at nearly all of the restaurants it's served at. And as a result, almost all of the chains that we've been at, such as Umami and Bear Burger, are desperate for us to go chain-wide. It's been great for us, but it's been great for our customers as well.
As the 68,000 square foot plant ramps up production, thousands of new restaurants across the country will begin offering the Impossible Burger on their menus.
What you can see here is a mushroom farm and mushroom compost. Organic waste too good to be thrown away. Here in Ireland, scientists are trying to find out what to do with it next.
Ty Holland in Monaghan is home to one of the world's biggest mushroom growers. In the European Union as a whole, 1 million tonnes of mushrooms are grown each year. The downside to that, 1 tonne of mushrooms generates 3 tonnes of compost.
Here we actually have a primordia, which is one of the first stages of mushroom cultivation. The second stage would then be these, what we call baby buttons, and then they grow until they reach this size, and that will be a closed cup mushroom. So this bed has actually been harvested. There's been a number of mushrooms harvested from this bed already, and there will be another 3 days of harvesting from this bed.
Used mushroom compost is now the focus of a European research project. The aim of the scientists is to develop a sustainable biorefinery to transform the organic waste into bioproducts. Getting rid of the compost has become a major logistic and economic challenge for the growers.
From our perspective, we truly look at the compost as an unloved gem. And at the moment, the compost is either disposed in a form of landfill or indeed spread across agricultural land. Our desire is to use the compost and to create much higher value applications that are incredibly useful for society.
Until then, research into the compost is continuing in other European countries. Spain's National Renewable Energy Centre, SENA, is leading the research in a bid to transform the used mushroom compost into fertilisers and biodegradable nano-carriers for drugs. The Spanish scientists have already successfully demonstrated that they can produce biopesticides.
Since the concentration of sugars in the residue of the mushroom farm is relatively low, we mix it with wheat straw. In this way, we concentrated and increased the sugar content. What we generated is slurry.
The sugars obtained through biochemical conversion of mushroom compost, mixed with the wheat straw, are used to manufacture environmentally friendly organic pesticides.
With biopesticides, you attack specific species of diseases, whereas with conventional insecticides, you eliminate a large part of insects that are in the field.
However, more research is needed before biorefineries capable of producing biopesticides, nanocarriers, and fertilizers can be built for mushroom growers.
This is a way to produce products with an added value, which is technically and economically viable, and avoids having to take all this material to a landfill. So there are benefits for all concerned when it comes to the trial, which was carried out here.
What we're going to try today are the first thin slices of steaks we have produced in a lab setting.
I think this is going to be the greatest revolution in the history of modern agriculture.
This lab-grown meat is not just a plant-based alternative like the Impossible Burger.
There's a technology that exists that allows us to, for all intents and purposes, have our bacon and eat it too, without any pigs being harmed.
Cultured meat, lab-grown meat, clean meat, whatever you want to call it, is identical to conventional meat at the cellular level, just grown in a lab. No slaughter involved. Its arrival could have massive implications for meat eaters, the US's $200 billion meat industry, and the environment. And it's happening at a pivotal time.
We can't handle more agriculture, and this growing demand is asking precisely that, and we're going to reach a breaking point.
We're in San Francisco on our way to Just. The startup invited us to try its lab-grown chicken nuggets for the first time.
Just started out by making vegan alternatives to animal products, like mayo and scrambled eggs. But now they're entering a new market. They're producing actual meat grown from animal cells in a lab.
All right, Chef Chris, we're gonna cook up some cells.
I like to call it chicken.
Well, we'll see if it tastes like chicken.
This is our chicken bite. Got some breading on it right now.
Bam.
All right.
It's kind of fluffy on the inside, kind of airy on the inside.
Lab-grown meats start with a small cluster of cells that, like an embryo in a womb, needs proteins and nutrients in order to grow. The process generally begins with taking a tissue sample from a living animal. From that tissue sample, stem cells are isolated. From there, a nutrient-dense serum encourages the stem cells to multiply. Once a mass of cells is formed, it's fed with proteins that prompt the cells to differentiate into muscle and fat cells. After some time in a cultivator, a mass of cells resembling raw minced meat can be harvested and prepared.
All right, Chef Chris.
The moment of truth.
Let's do this. Here she is. Tastes like a chicken nugget. You did a great job as a chef with the exterior, but the interior is nice and soft. It's kind of spongy.
You like the chicken?
It was pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah, I have to say, it tasted like a chicken nugget.
Good. We'd rather people just say that than anything else. Almost be surprised that it's so normal.
How long will it take before it's on someone's plate? At a fancy restaurant or at home?
The chicken's going to be happening hopefully before the end of the year. So we're talking
before the end of the year? Yeah. We only have a few weeks left.
I know.
Where?
So we're talking to a handful of countries right now. The key limiting step is the regulatory.
The regulatory.
Regulatory environments didn't contemplate the idea that you would be able to serve meat without killing an animal.
Last month, the FDA and the USDA agreed to share regulatory oversight of lab-grown meat products in the U.S.
So we just inked an agreement with a company in Japan, and they make this very, very high-end product called Wagyu, where we're sourcing cells from these phenomenal cows, and then using the cells as the building blocks to make a hamburger that we're hoping to put out in the next year and a half.
What's the biggest technological hurdle you have yet to overcome?
Well, it's probably the structure. You know, we didn't give you a chicken breast, we gave you a chicken nugget, you know, and we're not going to come out with a steak, we're going to come out with a hamburger. So it's a structured stuff. It's trying to figure out a way to weave together the muscle and the fat so it looks like a steak would look.
Just says it may be more than a year away from having its burger. But we learned that a startup in Tel Aviv, Israel, may have found the holy grail of cultured meat production, a steak.
The world's already seen hamburger meats, but this is different.
Yeah, that's different. Those are pieces of steak. We believe that for cell-cultured meat to be a real option in the market, it has to reproduce the texture and the experience of the conventional meat.
Olive Farm's steak starts its life in this nitrogen tank. That's where the frozen animal cells are kept.
You gonna take us to the slaughterhouse now?
We don't have slaughterhouses, but we have cows. This cow is named Gertrude.
This is a cow named Gertrude, okay.
Yeah, and that's the second cow named Alberta. So this is Gertrude. What you can see in there are cells, which are actually real cow cells, which we have isolated from a real animal.
Is the cow still alive?
And we don't hurt the cow.
The conditions inside these refrigerator cows are meant to replicate the bodies of living cows, where cells naturally multiply.
So this is actually probably one of the, or maybe the first piece of beef tissue.
After roughly 3 to 5 weeks in Gertrude, these small beef pieces will grow into a thin slice of steak, roughly the size of a credit card. Most cattle are slaughtered after 2.5 years.
What we're going to try today are the first thin slices of steaks. Each meat cut you'll test today costs approximately $50 a piece. The taste and flavor are still, I believe, 60-70% on the way toward our goal.
You've gotten the texture pretty close?
Yes, not bad at all, and you can judge by yourself.
The company didn't want to show us a raw piece of steak. Instead, Olive Foods invited us to be the first journalists to try its steak at a test kitchen in Tel Aviv. When we arrived, Amir Ilan had already marinated the lab-grown beef.
Okay.
And here it is.
Yeah, sauteed beef with mushrooms in teriyaki demi-glace and some microgreens with truffle soy vinaigrette.
This looks beautiful. Thank you, Chef.
My pleasure.
Well, let's give it a go. It's pretty good, yeah, I have to say. It tastes pretty close to a regular steak. I'm not willing to say this is the best steak I've ever had in my life. Pretty good though, but it passes.
Olive Farm says it will take at least 2 years before its product is commercially available. Back in the States, a political food fight is already underway. Jan Dutkevich is a political scientist at Johns Hopkins University. He researches industrial agriculture.
Demand for meat is rising globally, but it's also completely unsustainable. We're running out of arable land on the planet. We've got a really serious climate change problem.
An Oxford University study estimates that lab-grown meat could be produced with up to 96% fewer greenhouse gas emissions and 96% less water than conventional meat.
If cellular agriculture delivers on its promise, which we don't know if it's going to do yet, but if the technology gets there, then I think we may be heading for something resembling the age of animal obsolescence.
Tell that to the rancher out in Montana. Do you think that the meat producers are going to take this risk to their industry, their livelihoods, lying down?
Producers are already up in arms.
Are ranchers like yourself talking about this new cell-cultured meat?
As I like to call it, fake meat. As president of the National Cattlemen's Beef Association, 100% of the places I go, that's what producers want me to talk about.
There's a law that was passed in Missouri, and that law stipulates that in order to call something meat, it has to come from an actual animal.
Right.
Do you support that law?
I do. There'll be other states that I've been told about that will also make the same attempts to clarify what defines meat. We want to make sure that we have a level playing field on marketing and safety inspection.
Is your side trying to have it both ways? You want them to be regulated the same way as your meat, but you don't want them to be allowed to be called meat?
Well, we don't know what their products are yet. We're not to where these companies are even willing to share what they're doing yet publicly.
Is this going to change the world?
People love meat. People eat meat almost more than anything else on the planet. If we and other companies continue to put our head down and develop sensible technology, the world will change.
What is the secret of Soylent Green? New York City, in the year 2022. Nothing runs anymore. Nothing works. But the people are the same. And the people will do anything to get what they need.
This is the police.
What they need most is Soylent Green.
The supply of Soylent Green has been exhausted. Return to your home.
What is the secret of Soylent Green? Detective Sergeant Thorne. He has a 2-year backlog of unsolved murders. Now he's on a case that must be solved. Saul Roth, Thorne's private library.
Hey, Saul.
A living book in a world without books.
Have some pencils. Courtesy of your next assignment. William R. Simonson.
Simonson. He was the first to learn the secret of Soylent Green.
They told me to say that they were sorry, but that you had become unreliable.
Saul Roth was the next to know.
How do we come to this?
And he chose to die rather than reveal the secret of Soylent Green. What is the secret of Soylent Green?
Why did you set up Simonson?
I didn't. Cheryl.
See your hands.
Officially, she's furniture. She comes with the apartment. She belongs to the tenant.
How many times you been in trouble with the police, Cheryl?
Never.
Can't hear you.
Never.
Captain Hatcher. First, he wanted this case solved.
Simonson. What do you say? It was an assassination.
Now, he just wants it closed.
Who bought you? High and hot, and they want this case closed permanently. Their way. Now, you sign this.
You sign it!
Thorne refuses to close the Simonson case.
Just do what you have to do. Where did you go with Simonson?
He took me to church.
Church?
Bless me, Father, for I have sinned. It has been 6 months since my last confession.
Charlton Heston, Edward G. Robinson, Chuck Connors, Lee Taylor Young, Brock Peters, Paula Kelly, and Joseph Cotton fight for survival and try to solve the most bizarre riddle ever to face mankind. The search for the secret of Soylent Green. You will find out why Soylent Green means life. You will find out why Soylent Green means death.
We gotta stop him!
What is the secret of Soylent Green?
Please!
Shalom, Israel. It's your boy Nubreed coming through with another video. And this particular video here is exclusive for my Patreons only. My Patreons only. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters of the congregation, we have a very imperative topic today. We got to talk about the great agenda to promote veganism. Now, I don't know about y'all, but over the last few years, I noticed that they have spent millions upon millions of dollars in marketing in regards to promoting veganism. They promote it as it being better for the environment. They promote it as people would be, quote unquote, healthier if they were to become vegans. And I'm going to decipher this whole agenda because it's more to it. These scientists have made it clear and evident that they would like to transform the global agriculture that we have in place right now. They've made it apparent that that's what it's about. I truly believe that they want to transform food distribution itself. And a lot of people are feeding into the agenda. A lot of people believe they're becoming healthier. And I want to point some things out in regards to biblical dietary laws and what we are actually able and allowed to consume according to our God and still be healthy, well-functioning vessels. All right? Man, this topic is going to have layers to it because, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, they got people out here eating mystery meat straight up. I went to a vegan restaurant out here in Atlanta not too long ago called the Nut Cafe. I wanted to try some vegan food, trying to switch up my diet a little bit just to experiment. And they had nachos on the menu. I wanted these nachos. What was on top of the nachos appeared to be ground beef. So as I'm looking at this menu, I'm like, what is this on top of the nachos? And the gentleman working there said this is plant-based meat. And I'm like, okay, what is it? He's like, I'm not really sure. It's it's plant-based meat. And I'm like, what plant is it made out of? Is it mushrooms? What is it? I really can't answer that. I'm not sure. And it was nowhere on the menu. It didn't tell you what this plant-based meat was made out of. So the agenda has become real. People are now eating meat substitute instead of real meat. And they believe that that's a healthier option. But they don't know what it is they're actually eating. I noticed that a lot of vegan recipes include mushrooms. For those who don't know, mushrooms grow out of manure, feces. They like to call it compost to throw you off. But ladies and gentlemen, it definitely grows out of shit. Boo-boo, feces, fecal matter is actually what mushrooms grow out of. Now, there's different type of mushrooms that grow out of different type of soils. But in the U.S., it's growing out of boo-boo. Yeah. Cow dung. Donkey dung. I mean, is that really a healthier choice? Is eating fungus really the solution? And I've come across a lot of judgy vegans. If you're a vegan, I'm not here to, make you feel a certain way. I'm just speaking to those who are judgy vegans, right? A lot of these judgy vegans believe that they have found the holy grail to health. It's true that meat takes longer to digest in your system. Therefore, you can hold on to more weight. Weight is not always a bad thing, brothers and sisters. Having some extra pounds does not necessarily mean that you're unhealthy. And see, this is something that we've been taught in this society, that if you weigh a few extra pounds, you got to be unhealthy. Listen, I know people who are thin and look to be very healthy on the outside. But some of these people actually have high blood pressure. A lot of health problems come when somebody is morbidly obese. Sometimes size can add power and stature to an individual. So size is not always an indication of somebody being unhealthy. But this vegan agenda has gotten real. And I know some of you vegans out here may be uninformed about what they do with this mystery meat. So in this video, I want to inform you. Now let's go to the Bible's dietary laws. Let's find out what it is we can and cannot eat. Let's get it. We're going to Leviticus chapter 11. And the Lord spake unto Moses and Aaron, saying unto them, Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, These are the beasts which ye shall eat among all the beasts that are on the earth. Whatsoever parteth the hoof, and is cloven-footed, and cheweth the cud among these beasts, that shall ye eat. Nevertheless, these shall ye not eat of them that chew the cud, or them that divide the hoof, as the camel, because he cheweth the cud, but divideth not the hoof, he is unclean to you. And the coney, because he cheweth the cud, but divideth not the hoof, he is unclean to you. And the hare, because he cheweth the cud, but denieth not the hoof, he is unclean to you. And the swine, though he divideth the hoof, and be cloven-footed, yet he cheweth not the cud, he is unclean to you. Of their flesh shall ye not eat, and their carcass shall ye not touch. They are unclean to you. It tell you not to even touch the carcass of a pig, because they carry so many germs and infections and diseases. It says, These shall ye eat of the things of the waters. Let's get it. Whatsoever have fins and scales in the water, in the seas and the rivers, them ye shall eat. And all them that have not fins and scales in the sea and in the rivers, all that move in the waters, and of any living thing which is in the waters, they shall be an abomination. Now let's break that down right there. So the scriptures tell you what you can and cannot eat. All right. It tells you can eat beef. You can eat lamb. You can eat fish with fins and scales. You can eat goat. You can eat venison. You can eat chicken. You can eat turkey. You can eat beef. And often throughout the scriptures, it tells you the validity of milk and honey. Milk and honey is often called great sustenance for your body. You can also eat butter and eggs. You can eat vegetables. You can eat ripe fruit, nuts, honey. You know, I mean, it makes it very simple. And then it tells you what you shouldn't eat. You're not supposed to be eating pork, bacon, ham. You're not supposed to be eating rabbits or rodents. You're not supposed to be eating web-footed birds. You're not supposed to eat birds of prey like vultures and all of that kind of stuff. It tells you not to eat anything that don't have scales and fins, bottom feeders, all that shrimp, crab, lobster, or anything else that's in the sea that may be abominable. So my question is, why is Satan trying to change what the Most High already put in place? He already told you what you can and can't eat. Why are they making lab meat? Why is it that they are subliminally brainwashing the public to hate meat, to hate what the Most High put in place, to hate the animals and the beasts of the field that he put in place that we are able and allowed to eat? Why is this? The other day, somebody gave me a pamphlet, and I believe that they were either a Mormon or a Jehovah's Witness, not really sure, but they were trying to basically say in the pamphlet that that since we ate fruits, vegetables, and plants yielding seed in the garden before sin entered the world, then that is what our original diet is supposed to be. And my response to that was, show me the scripture that says that. You know, that's something that can't be done. You cannot show me a scripture in the Bible where it says that it is better to stick to eating plants. Nowhere in the scriptures do it tell you that. The disciples were fishermen, ladies and gentlemen. So it just makes no sense. You know, it's like people create their own doctrines to do what it is they would like to do. And these very same people begin to create a doctrine, and they become judgy, and they believe that they're closer to the spiritual realm because they don't eat meat. And a lot of these people are just off. I'm going to be honest with you, because it's going against what the word of God says. And I know y'all know the type of people that I'm talking about. It be them ones like, are you really going to eat that? Are you going to eat that poor little cow, that poor little chicken? You know, they had to kill that animal. Well, welcome to the animal kingdom. That's how the Most High made it. Of course I'm going to eat this lamb. I'm going to enjoy this lamb. Get the hell off my plate. My question is, are you really going to eat that Soylent Green? Yeah. Back in the 50s that movie came out, or it may have been the early 60s. We're sitting here telling you that by the year 2022, there's going to be a mystery meat that they're going to be basically handing out to the people. People going to be going to war over that mystery meat. Going to be fighting the government, trying to fight the rich, everything based on this mystery meat. I mean, with all the agriculture being shut down, with all the farmland being shut down, with food shortages and distribution slowing down, this could be a possibility by the year 2022. By 2021, they're going to shut down all the farms using Agenda 21, or sustainable living as they like to call it. I'm telling you, this is right around the corner. For those who never seen Soylent Green, I'm going to tell you the mystery behind Soylent Green. The whole time, they were serving up dead bodies. They were serving up people. Who's to say that they not in these labs conducting some type of experiments and actually putting some type of human DNA within the food? Who's to say? We don't even know what the hell it is. They've already conditioned us to believe that this product is a healthier choice from what the Most High God created for. Now, my thing is, if you're going to go vegan, don't even eat vegan meat. Don't even eat vegan meat if you're going to go vegan. If you want a real hamburger, right, go get you a real hamburger. You know? If you want a steak, right, you know what I'm saying? Chop up some onions, put some steak sauce on that thing. If you want some salmon, get you some real salmon. You want some ground beef? Get some ground beef. You want turkey chops? Get you some turkey chops. Look, I do agree that everything should be done in moderation. Everything. Too much of anything will kill you. And also, you know, you're not going to live forever. You know, some people become literal health nuts. I'm telling you. And being a nut is not good. You know, now you got these nutty professors taking advantage of you because you thinking that meat is just going to kill you. Listen, eventually we all got to pass on to the next level. It is what it is. But I'd rather be eating some good old steak than eating something that I don't know what the hell it is. You understand? Like, no. I'm not trying to eat no Nike Air Nuggets, man. And you know, it's crazy because what is a chicken nugget? You know, even chicken nuggets that's sold in the store, are those really chicken? Some of them are spelled CHIKN. I don't know what that is. You got to get them ones that say 100% pure chicken. You know, some of this chicken got fillers and all kind of stuff in it. Science been trying to sabotage everything, man. If we take care of the land, we take care of the animals, and we actually sacrifice the animals properly instead of torturing them, then meat would not have such a negative effect on people. See, when they torture the animal and they hang them upside down in these farmhouses and, you know, they starve them out and they keep them in close proximity together and, you know, one cow got to see his buddy get slaughtered. What happens is those animals get filled up with fear. And then when you eat those animals, your vessel gets filled up with fear. So it's important to get kosher meat, kosher food in general. You know, that's the choice that you got to make. But all in all, brothers and sisters, don't be a judgy vegan. Know exactly what it is you're eating and follow God's laws, and you can't go wrong. Anyway, hopefully this video helped you out with your walk and your journey. If it did, make sure you mash the thumbs up button. Get into the comment board and share your opinion. If you are a vegan and you would like to, share your opinions, and if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, definitely show your concerns in the comment board. Anyway, thank y'all for watching. With that being said, shalom and peace.